Folks, welcome back. Oh, is that actually signed or is that printed? I don't know. So let's be straightforward with the situation right now. Today we're going to talk about I've had so many messages on Dr. Chronicles over here. This used to be my college professor here, and I want to discuss it. So before we get too far into the video, obviously I want to let you all know that I maybe have, I don't even think I have a full case of 10. I maybe have like 5 to 8 boxes of this. This was something I never actually went after. I, you know, even when they were 2, 3, 400 a box, I still really didn't buy much of this product ever. Obviously, it's expensive now. Do I regret it? I mean, I guess so, because essentially I'm really not going to be able to buy any more in the future. But it's just not a product I enjoy. So, I mean, even on this particular box, I believe that I ended up paying this gentleman, I think it was like average eBay sold at the time was like 1,000 or something. So, was it 1,000 or was it 900? Whatever it was, and whatever 80% of this, the last 3 sold prices were, whatever, was it like 800 bucks or something, plus shipping, I paid a shipping cost. You know, nothing crazy here. Got a love letter here about being a fan, collecting 93, 94. Pretty cool stuff here. He lost 2 collections. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That happens all the time. People come and go from Magic, or things happen. Enjoying the channel, I appreciate it, man. It's important to, let people have open discussions and talk about this stuff in the world. I'm telling you all. Feeling bad. I go, I know. Feeling bad. In case I'm still staying the course. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Keep providing entertainment. I try to be entertaining. I try to keep the channel unpredictable so you don't know what video is coming. I don't like a pattern or rhythms. I go out of my way to make sure the channel stays truly random. So, first we're going to get into, I know, beautiful old LED, beautiful Miss Lion's Eye Diamond. She is a stunning looking woman in this artwork with that beautiful animal, with the diamond. Just everything about her is just stunning. I love the artwork, everything about it. So I want to talk about Chronicles. Here's the thing. I don't really regret too much because I'm just not a fan of the product. Something I've talked to you all about many times is if I don't enjoy or have a passion for a particular product, I'm honestly just not going to spend a lot of money on it. This is an example of a product that, sure, it's skyrocketed, and maybe the 5, 6 boxes I already have, which I paid years ago for maybe $100 a box. Yeah, they've 10x'd in price or something, but I'm really just not a huge fan of this product. So I really, sure, even if it goes to 2,000, 3,000 a box, I'm probably just not going to buy it. Chronicles is such a symbolic, bittersweet product. It's an important case study. It's important to understand why this exists, why no more Chronicles were made. It's an important storyline to understand the history of this product, everybody. Obviously, for those of you who weren't around a bazillion years ago, they reprinted a lot of the 4 Horsemen cards in white bordered, and of course, none of they pretty much created the reserve list. That's essentially mostly because actually the Elder Dragons were actually what really caused the tipping point on the reprint of this set. Not Concordant Crossroads, not City of Brass. Believe it or not, the Elder Dragon legends from Legends, the big giant gold dudes, is actually really what the tipping point was. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Because today people are like, what? Really? Who cares? I mean, it's kind of EDH fun, but who really cares about the big giant dragon guys? Whatever. So I get questions, Rudy, would you buy in today at, 1,000 a box? Do you think it's going to, I do think the price is going to continue to go higher. I think the single cards for Chronicles 4th edition, and some revised, not all, will retrace and have a normal 20-30% retrace and then stabilize at a higher price than before. But no, this isn't something I am actually going to be going out of my way to really do anything with, because I just don't have a passion for the product. And at the end of the day, that is going to prevent me from expanding or doing anything with Chronicles in the future. Whether it's single cards or the sealed boxes, it does nothing for me. It doesn't even get me medium. It doesn't do anything downstairs. The tether balls still look like Annie Ann's pretzel sticks. I mean, there's nothing going on, folks. This is not something that, does it for me. It is what it is. So, but I put this in the same category as like Homelands and Fallen Empires. Yes, I believe the cards within here are going to continue to drift higher. Yes, I firmly believe what we're going through is a market repricing, because pretty much the market got it wrong. The market felt for the longest time that Chronicles was literally useless garbage and there were millions of sealed boxes out there. As we know, in 2021, there are not millions of sealed boxes. The original Printed to Oblivion Fallen Empires or Chronicles, there is not an oblivion of sealed product left. There's a lot of singles floating around out there, but most are pretty dirty, yellowed, and rough, and don't have a whole lot of value to it. So based on that mindset, it is what it is. I wouldn't recommend really going heavy on a product like Chronicles, Homelands, or Fallen Empires. I think there's better directions for your money that are going to have less volatility with more consistent long-term potential. Now you'll notice I use very cheesy words like potential and, I'm pulling for you and, teamwork and motivation, all those dumb things. But, you have to look at it from a risk reward standpoint. And, to me, the risk and reward on products like this, it's there. You can make money. The reward is there on products like this. But to me, the risk is not as attractive based on the percentage of reward. So I hope that makes sense for a lot of you non-financial people out there. But that's how I see something like this. In other words, let me change the question a little bit. Why would I spend $1,000 on a box of Chronicles when instead of $1,000 on Chronicles, I can buy 2 boxes of original Innistrad for $500 each? Or why would I buy a $2,000 box of Chronicles when I can buy a $2,000 box of Weatherlight? You see my point? Why would I buy a box of Chronicles for $1,500 when I can buy, I don't know, a case of Kaldheim for $2,000? You see what I'm getting at? In other words, when you compare and contrast many things, why would I buy a $2,000 box of Chronicles when I can buy an unlimited Mox Pearl? Seriously? Why would you buy a box of Chronicles versus buying a piece of power? Unlimited Mox Pearl. You see my point? Why don't you buy unlimited Time Volt or a beta Time Volt for a couple thousand versus Chronicles if the box goes higher? You see what I'm getting at? When you compare it and line things up in a lineup and ask yourself those personal questions, the answer becomes a lot clearer than when you look at the product in isolation. So a lot of this stuff we talked about on this channel as we're progressing forward into the future, if you all haven't been noticing, is a lot more thought-provoking, philosophical mindsets, and you have to really be able to see and think above and beyond in front of the crowd. You have to be able to outthink and outplan the Timmy Empire. Seriously, if you want an honest answer in a very blunt conversation, anything to deal with investing, whether it's equities, the debt markets, whether you're slinging derivatives and options trading, going to be homeless next week, or you're buying cardboard, graded coins, currency, and stamp collecting, poking your mom in the Yu-Gi-Oh basement, whatever you're into. I don't want to say flesh and blood because then the thumbs down button will break. Whatever you're into is fine, but you need to understand and think very critically about where we're at, where you think we're going, and what the odds of each direction are. And that's something I have on my my whiteboard video on my planning here, is I want to almost do like a decision tree with all these potential outcomes and talk about things in a more visual manner so that some people can understand a little clearer what I'm referring to. And I think when you really take time to clear your mind and think about things on a deeper level, because it becomes a lot more obvious. Because that's something I get sent private emails daily of people just, Rudy, I love your channel, and I still think you're a creepy scumbag. Love you too. Reach around Lava Claw. But I get questions, Rudy, why or how do you seem to think or comment on things years in advance? You seem to see things. I get messages like this all the time. And while some people may think that's accurate, some people think it's wrong, the point is I get messages of people saying, Rudy, it's fascinating how much time you spend analyzing and seeing certain markets before they unfold. And many times it becomes true. I have a higher probability of being accurate than inaccurate. It's impossible to have a 100% accuracy rate. But the goal is to have like an 80% accuracy rate. So that pretty much every 10 things you're really analyzing, 8 of the 10 are accurate and 2 of the 10 are inaccurate. And that will lead you on a successful path. Getting things wrong is okay. That's part of life. It's very important to get things wrong so that you reset, you analyze why you made the decision, what caused you to be wrong, just like the Jewel Lotus situation where I thought it was 20 bucks at most. Well, what made me be wrong about that situation? Well, there was an outside variable with supply that I didn't calculate because it had never been done before. Wizards pulled a fast one on the supply chain, which skewed the numbers, and I didn't plan for that. And see, that's an interesting learning experience. So, hope you all learned something today. That's really all I have. Not a dramatic video. I just thought it was important to talk about a product like this. And, the single cards use a lot of caution. Sealed prices will probably hold, though. Have a great day.